What is going on, my ninjas? I just got back from watching Boruto, Naruto the movie. First off, let me say that there will be spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and get out of here. But, oh my god, it was such an awesome experience. Like, the people there, just, you could feel the Naruto love energy in the crowd, first off. So before the movie even started, I was like, hyped up because everyone was talking about what they expected from the movie, you know, kind of comparing it to the last and whatnot. So like I said, before the movie even began, I was like, this is the anime experience that I love to feel from the anime community as a whole. Man, if you guys were tripping, if you did not like that Sasuke only got like 2 minutes of screen time in the last, you will rejoice. You will throw a fucking parade, because literally the first thing you see in this movie is Sasuke going the fuck in. When I say going in, I mean he is on beast mode in this movie. It's like Kishimoto just deliberately made him to be the star. Like, he almost overshines Boruto and Naruto. I mean, in the beginning, he's moving so fast fighting this Uzumaki guy that they look like lightning bolts just dashing and blowing shit up all over the place. And the movie has to slow it down to show us what's really going on. And like I said, Sasuke Uchiha, my man Uchiha Sasuke-kun, is a beast man in this movie. But as far as the Uzumakis go as villains, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will like these guys over Tonari, simply because these guys, they have a direct connection to Kaguya, whereas Tonari, he was just like a descendant and he just kind of popped up out of nowhere. But Kaguya's mission to reunite all chakra into the almighty chakra fruit is kind of their thing too. Like, they were waiting on Kaguya to make that fruit, so they kind of saw that she was taking too long, so they popped up. And basically, they were going to take that fruit and make like medicine or pills out of it that like gives them eternal youth, and you know, some Orochimaru shit, but like over 9,000 times the effectiveness. That's basically the plot of this movie. Momoshiki Uzumaki, I believe, and the other Uzumaki guy, I forgot his name, they're basically trying to gather all the beasts. Kind of cliche, I know, but to make the chakra fruit so they can be immortal forever, pretty much. And that, of course, brings them to the Hidden Leaf to fight Naruto. And in this movie, Naruto is Hokage. He does not have time for Boruto, which pisses him off. And in the previews, I got a bad taste for Boruto in my mouth because I thought he was just like a whiny bitch. But I can actually understand his frustration a little bit better after actually watching the movie, because Naruto made some promises and he didn't show up. Like, it was Himawari's birthday, and then he sent a shadow clone to the birthday party, and he also like sent his son emails like not being there. So I can understand a little bit better. It just seemed like he was complaining over nothing in the previews. But Boruto's, I'm not going to say hatred for his father, but like dad, what the fuck's going on, man? Like, I'm your son. Like, that is like justified now. I can totally understand Boruto's frustration. But one of the Uzumaki guys, he has a Rinnegan in both hands. One like sucks up ninjutsu, and then the other one like shoots it back like tenfold, like I mean multiplied out the ass. Like, towards the beginning, we see him fighting B, and B loses, and the Eight Tails shoots a Biju bomb. He sucks it up, shoots it out the other hand, and it's like a fucking Dragon Ball Z spirit bomb. I don't know how B survived that one, but this guy is OP as hell. But I kind of like the fact that Boruto has no intention of becoming Hokage, and that's kind of Sarada's thing. Boruto, he just wants to be acknowledged by his father. Like, he wasn't even going to participate in the Chunin exams until he was told that his dad would be there, you know, watching over it. So he just wants to make his dad proud, and even in doing so, he did some fucked up shit. Like, there's this gadget that most of you are familiar with by now, with all the leaks and spoilers, that it can basically take any ninjutsu, put it in a scroll, and whoever wields that tool thing can use it. So he cheated his way through the Chunin exams and ultimately got caught with Naruto, and thanks to Hinata's Byakugan. And the exact opposite of what he wants happens. Naruto is so disappointed in him, but ultimately by the end, of course, you know, everything's going to be all fine and dandy. But that journey though, seeing Boruto go from, you know, I'll do anything, even cheat to get my father's approval, to like that big finish that Boruto did, I'm like, damn, this guy got so much development in such little time. But I fangirled all over the place when he put on Naruto's Part 1 outfit and took Sasuke's headband. Sasuke is an interesting teacher. He's kind of sarcastic, but he has the same like emo, emotionless face on the entire time. And I think Boruto is going to grow to be an awesome ninja because he mastered, I'm not going to say mastered, he got the hang of, I guess, the Rasengan in just a few days, except his is kind of different. He can throw it and then it disappears and then it reappears like suddenly, which kind of helped out in the final battle. I'm not even gonna say it reappears, it's like the force of the projectile Rasengan appears, like kind of how Naruto used the Rasengan back in Part 1 when Kakashi threw them apart and he hit that water tower and we saw damage on the other side. Like that force is still there, but the projectile Rasengan is invisible, if that makes any sense. So Boruto is getting talked down by his dad during the Chunin exams because he found out that he cheated, and then the Sutsuki fellas come in and just kidnap Naruto. But the events leading up to that, like Naruto protecting his son and pretty much sacrificing his life, or so he was ready to anyway, to protect his son. That kind of woke up Boruto and he was like, damn, my dad is a badass, but he still wants to be like Sasuke. Throughout the whole movie he's like, Sarada, your dad is so fucking kawaii. But I really did enjoy seeing the new generation, the new Konoha kids duke it out in the Chunin exams, and just seeing some of Sarada's moves, Mitsuki. We get Shikadai, we get all the kids that we know of, plus a few more. Like Kankuro's kid is fucking badass. I love his design. And I guess it's B's kid with the bubble powers, he's pretty dope too. But even if you don't like the new generation, the new Konoha kids, I would have to say that you will still love this movie anyway, simply because it's just so reminiscent of what made us Naruto fans growing up. Like, it's so much like Part 1, it's crazy. Especially after Boruto finds out that the thing on his arm is bullshit and he needs to fight with his own power. He is exactly like Naruto back then. Although he doesn't want to become Hokage, he actually says that he wants to help Sarada be Hokage, and he'll be her right-hand man, basically. He says that he wants to be like Sasuke. I mean, he is a Sasuke fanboy hard. But like I said, if you were complaining about the lack of action from the last, this movie right here will give you an action boner, like to the max. Like the fight scenes in this shit were, it's like they spent the entire budget on the fight scenes. Not saying that the whole movie seems low budget, like everything is animated beautifully in my opinion, but the fight scenes, it's like, wow, this is like what I've been wanting to see Naruto and Sasuke do, and you know, other characters since the beginning. Like, I wanted to see Naruto go from the loser that he was to an epic god that he is now. And I like the fact that neither Naruto or Sasuke could beat these Uzumaki guys by themselves. It's like they needed Boruto, they needed the new 5 Kage, which are awesome, by the way. I was originally kind of skeptical on the new 5 Kage simply because, you know, Tsunade, Tsuchikage, Gaara, and Mai, like, they were so in tune with each other, and their synergy and their fighting styles just seem to complement each other so well. But in this movie, the 5 Kage in this, they did the same thing. Like, I was just so impressed that they kept up with each other and they combined their jutsus just like the 5 Kage versus Madara fight. I was like, shit. But that scene where Boruto put his little ass Rasengan up to Naruto's hand, and Naruto made that shit like the size of a fucking spirit bomb. Boruto was like, damn, my dad has had to have gone through some bullshit. He has to have had to gone through hell to get to how strong he is now, to get to where he is, he and Sasuke. And at that moment, Boruto realized how insensitive he's been towards his dad, and that just made the movie for me. And then, of course, that big finale, like, the force from that Rasengan peeled the skin off of Boruto's arm. I was like, damn. I do think that it's a great thing that Boruto is not as OP as we all thought, because in the trailers we saw him doing the Chidori, like fire style stuff, a whole bunch of things but it was all from that contraption that he had on his arm. Like, the only thing that he could do is make, I think, 4 shadow clones is his max, and that projectile Rasengan, which isn't all that impressive. I mean, it's dope that he could throw a fucking Rasengan, but it's like this big. So with that being said, he's not like the OP god. Like, he's not Jesus. If Naruto's God, he's not Jesus just yet, but it was stated multiple times that he can surpass his father. So for those of you thinking that Boruto just popped out like this prodigy badass godsend that can just murder everyone, rest assured, because there were many times he was about to fail in the tuning exams, but he made his way through by cheating. I absolutely adore how Boruto and Momoshiki Usutsuki how they are kind of similar, like how Boruto was using everybody else's powers to get to where he was, and how Momoshiki, whatever his name is, how he takes other people's ninjutsu and throw it back at him. There was like this speech from Naruto was like, that's not your power, that's not how you get ahead. Real ninja rely on themselves and teamwork and etc, etc. And that also made Boruto wisen up. Like, I just love the parallels there. Like, Boruto's realizing that, hey, I need to rely on my own shit. But there were many things that gave me like a nostalgia boner too, like the constant comparison of Boruto and Part 1 Naruto. It's not so overwhelming that like, oh my god, they're going to say that reminds him of Naruto. It is not like that. It's just like such a beautiful thing seeing father and son being so similar, and things like how Sakura protected those people when Momoshiki just destroyed that building or the tuning exams, how she just lifted her arm up and she didn't even punch the rubble. Like, the force of her punch just destroyed everything. And seeing Hinata go after Naruto after he was abducted and try to save him, similar to how she did in the Pain arc, just brought back memories. And there are a lot of little moments like that that aren't too obvious, that it's like kind of being a throwback, but it's still beautiful. Like, a real fan will be like, huh, that's where this came from. That's why this is like this. And I think that that's pretty cool. There are some comedy aspects. Like, I love how Naruto is like in the Hokage chair, and then when Shikamaru comes in and says, your son passed the first round, the second round, and then Naruto was like, yeah, that's cool. And then when Shikamaru leaves, he gets up and celebrates, like he doesn't want to show how excited he is that his son is moving on in front of people. And stuff with Musuki and finding out that his father is Orochimaru, and then we see Orochimaru for that one split second. I'm like, dang, he should have been in the movie. But as Boruto evolves throughout this movie, his motivations for wanting to be trained under Sasuke changes. Like, at first he wanted to learn his dad's weakness so he could fight Naruto, and somehow, I don't know how he thought he would beat the god of Shinobi right now, but anyway, he wanted to beat him and kind of make his father acknowledge him. But it turned into, tell me more about my dad. Like, I want to be more like him. But by the end, like I said, Boruto is kind of like Naruto, but I love how he insists that he will not become Hokage. He says that his granddad and his dad were Hokage, and the Hokage is a path, and he chooses to walk his own. Just because he's in the same family does not mean that their path has to become his. And I love Boruto's similarity to Naruto, but he also has his own individuality, which makes me love his character, because I thought he was just like a copy and paste of Naruto that was just acting like a brat. But by the end, I can think that anyone will learn to love Boruto. I know I said this earlier, but of course we all know that Sarada wants to be Hokage, and Boruto claims that he's going to be her right-hand man. But when he said that, her face turned so red, you could tell that she has a little crush on him. It's just kind of funny to see the children of these rivals that have tried to kill each other in the past kind of be like a thing. It's not confirmed or anything, but it just kind of hinted that Sarada has a little crush on him or whatever. And like watching him train for the Rasengan, she was in the bushes watching, kind of like how Hinata has been watching Naruto over all those years. But a request that I got when I finally reviewed this movie is to kind of say whether I like this movie or the last better. Now, it's really hard to say, although this movie, in terms of like fan service, action, and a whole bunch of other things, is superior than the last. The last was purely meant to be a romance movie, and this one, like the Boruto movie, has absolutely no romance whatsoever, unless you call that little red-faced scene from Sarada romance. I mean, there were some feels between father and son, and a lot of parents and children throughout the movie, but the last was purely Naruto figuring out that he actually loves Hinata. So you really can't compare the two. I will say that the action scenes in this movie take the cake. Like, it was a million times better. Like, Naruto is a fucking beast. Sasuke is a beast. The new 5 Kage, I was like, damn, I want this shit on Blu-ray. I'm getting this shit day one. I hope there's a collector's edition with like an art book or something. That'll be pretty cool because I have to have this in my Blu-ray collection. But for those of you that have seen the movie, tell me what you guys thought of it down below. If you haven't seen it and are on the fence, all I have to say is I can understand why some people did not like the last, but if you are a Naruto fan of any kind, like even just a semi or partial Naruto fan, watch this movie, man. It is so fucking epic. Anyway, this has been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.